There's a saying in the Appalachian Mountains. If you're walking in the Appalachian Mountains alone and hear someone call your name, never turn and look. This is the story and history of that saying. This chilling piece of folklore is deeply rooted in the traditions and superstitions of the Appalachian region. It's widely believed that if you hear your name being called while alone in the mountains, especially when no one else should be there, you should never turn around. But why? The answer ties into centuries-old legends, supernatural creatures, and eerie Appalachian folklore that warn of spirits, demons, and malevolent entities that mimic human voices to lure victims to their doom. The warning dates back to early Appalachian settlers, and even further to indigenous Cherokee legends, where spirits were believed to walk among the living, calling out those they wished to steal away. It has been passed down for generations, often a cautionary tale to hunters, travelers, and children who wander too far into the wilderness. The belief is that certain spirits, creatures, and even the mountains themselves call out to people by name. If you turn and look, you acknowledge them, and in doing so, you invite something unnatural into your life. Some say it's just an old superstition. Others claim that those who turn around are never seen again. There are many theories and legends that attempt to explain who or what calls your name in the Appalachian wilderness. Here are some of the most common. One of the most widely believed explanations is that the voices are from a mimic spirit, entities that have no form of their own, but can perfectly imitate human voices. They often call out in a familiar tone, sometimes using the voice of a loved one. If you turn around, you acknowledge their presence, and they can latch onto you and drag you away into the unknown. Some people who have turned claim to see nothing but darkness, yet feel something watching. These spirits are said to be especially active at dusk or near water, where the veil between the worlds is thin. Among the Cherokee people, there are stories of spirits that call out to the living. They believe that spirits of the dead, lost souls, or malevolent beings would call out to travelers by name, hoping to trick them into following them into the spirit world. If a person turned back or responded, they might become lost forever, physically or spiritually. Some Cherokee shamans taught that ignoring the voice was the way to protect oneself. The belief persisted even after European settlers arrived in the region, blending into the wider Appalachian folklore. Another theory involves the knot deer, a well-known cryptid of the Appalachian Mountains. The knot deer is described as a deer that isn't quite right. Its movements are unnatural, its eye is too human, and sometimes it walks on two legs. Many hunters and hikers claim that the knot deer can mimic human speech, like calling people by their name. Some who have turned and looked describe seeing a figure in the distance, just barely human-shaped, staring back. These encounters often leave people feeling deeply unsettled, with an overwhelming urge to flee. Some believe that the voice belongs to the Appalachian Fae, supernatural tricksters who live in the remote forest of the mountains. They aren't the friendly fairies of modern fantasy. Appalachian Fae are mischievous, dangerous, and enjoy leading travelers astray. If you answer when they call your name, they may lure you deeper into the forest, causing you to lose all sense of direction. Some victims report walking for hours only to end up in the same spot over and over as if something's toying with them. To avoid this, old Appalachian folklore warns, never say hello if you don't know who's calling. Come here. There's another explanation, perhaps the simplest and most unsettling of all. The voices belong to the dead. The Appalachian Mountains are filled with history, tragedy, and lost souls. From Cherokee burial sites to the spirits of lost settlers, Civil War soldiers, and murdered travelers, the land is steeped in restless energy. Many believe ghosts roam the wilderness, still searching for something or someone they lost. Some spirits are said to call out to the living, hoping someone will turn around and acknowledge them. But if you turn and look, you might see something you weren't meant to see, or worse, they might see you. Even today, many hikers, hunters, and campers in the Appalachian region report hearing something unnatural while alone in the woods. Common reports include hearing their name called from the tree line even though there's no one there. Hearing their own voice repeated back to them in an eerie and distorted way. Feeling watched but seeing nothing. Experiencing sudden intense fear without explanation. Some have turned around and seen nothing but dense forest. Others claim to have glimpsed a shadowy figure just at the edge of their vision. Most who ignore the voices reported that they fade away after a few moments, but those who turn around often experience nightmares for weeks afterwards. If you ever find yourself alone in the Appalachian wilderness and hear someone call your name, when no one else should be there, follow these rules of survival. Don't turn around. Keep walking. Act as if you didn't hear it. If it calls again, pick up your pace and get back to safety. Don't acknowledge it. Never answer. Never say who's there or hello. Get out of the woods. If the feeling of being watched persists, leave immediately. Many who escape report feeling normal again once they're back on familiar ground. If you must respond, say a prayer. Some Cherokee believe that the state of prayer or reciting a sacred phrase can break the spirit's hold. Others claim that carrying iron, salt, or tobacco can ward off the entity. Final warning, some say it's just a story, but is it? This legend has endured for centuries because people continue to experience it firsthand. Whether it's spirits, cryptids, fae, or something unknown, one thing remains certain. If you hear your name called while alone in the Appalachian Mountains, don't turn around, because you might not be alone. Have you or anyone you know heard of this fable? If so, comment below. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed what you saw. Thanks for watching.